We begin chapter 28, Before Bali Rose Up Screaming, in Beyond Exile. Frank has done some gambling when he arrived, and he's pretty set with cash right now. And now he's enjoying time on the beach by himself after having a concubine for a week until he got bored, and now he's taking up the surf and he's catching a wave in the Indian Ocean. You can look at the white sand. Island Wisdom says, when you're caught in a rip, go limp and let it take you to the coral reefs 5 miles out. You look at the rip. Frank's body surfing. When the 9th wave declines, the Indian Ocean flatlines, and he stupidly sprints for the beach. And you see the distant beach, and it's a swim. Cramps bouncing through his muscles like pinballs of doom. There's no way to make it, so there's only one way to make it. So we can go here to the coral reefs. And when that happens, it puts us into scene 215, and here's the wave, and there's some dolphins in the wave, as a matter of fact. Going limp with some dolphins and coral reefs. And you see the colorful blue waves here. With a simple release of finger and thumb, he drops his blue towel on the biting white sand before he went swimming, before he woke up this morning, before Bali rose up screaming from the ocean floor. We can go southeast from here as we've reached the coral reef. Scene number 216. We're going to go right into the next chapter, chapter 29, which is called The Spike. He's reached a coral reef, and Frank sees black sand. We look at black sand. The first problem of philosophy is distancing distance. While you're polishing a thought, you always hit something sharp. We also see rice would make for a good meal if combined with something. Okay, let's take the rice. A banana. Great source of potassium and vitamin C. You take the banana. Then we have the rice and the banana. Let's put them together. Banana and rice. Frank's walking the bluff above Kuta Beach after a breakfast of black rice and bananas. Working on cosmic acceleration as art. Looking at the black sand. Can't take it. But we can go south from here. Into scene number 217, which is Padangbai Beach. So he's at another beach in Kuta. And here's some huts and a pier, some type here on the shore. There's a palm tree. When he steps on a palm spike, he sees the contradiction in great detail. Look at the palm spike. His foot sails clear, but his foot's also impaled. And now we're looking at bleeding Frank. The spike cut through the foot. It's a bloody mess. Well, so much for his winning streak. He was doing pretty well for a bit there. So now we are a bleeding Frank. So we're Frank and we have a bloody foot. And we can hop along, I guess, to a shaman village. We go there to scene number 218. A colorful shaman village. Looks like the gecko died. And I guess we'll find a witch doctor or some cleric or someone to help Frank stop the bleeding. the shaman. And when we look at him, we become the shaman. So we are the shaman priest looking at our dazed American with a bloody foot. We look at the dazed American, the spiked foot, and so what are we going to do to this guy? Well, we have whiskey. Let's look at that. To numb the pain, so let's take the whiskey. And let's give him a shot. We always like to give these guys drinks, a toast or something, as well as pour the alcohol on the foot. And when you do that, we have a razor blade, and it says to cut out any disease. Let's take that razor blade and use that and cut the spike out of his foot. See what happens. After 2 weeks of nauseating pain, amplified by the inability to swim, Frank gives up on the Western tradition and invites the village shaman to solve the problem with Japanese whiskey and a rusty razor blade. We can look at Frank here, and now we are Frank. And it would seem that we're not a bleeding Frank anymore, so assuming that everything's healed. At this point, after 2 weeks of rehabbing the foot that got horribly mutilated, we can go to Kuta Beach, which takes us to scene number 219, and these are the exclusive resorts at Kuta Beach. So now it's time to spend a little dough. This will take us into a new chapter, and I want to pause the game right here then. This was chapters 28 and 29 of Beyond Exile. Thank you for watching this adventure.